Such a fearsome thief that has never been seen or heard in all the three worlds. There you go. Mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, and everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. Oh, this is very nice. Please mark the lyrics. You cut the terrible news of Yamaraj. You sever the dreadful news of material existence. And you slash everyone's material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knots fastened by your own loving devotees. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. And there, for a very long time, you will remain, receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes, you believe. O Krishna, thief of my everything, the news of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart because I will not release you for millions of aeons. Shira below the gold key, that's the value of the song. It's called as Chaurashtra. Praje prasne navane chauram gopanam Chadukunam praje prasne navane chauram gopanam Chadukunam अनेक जन्मा अनेक जन्मा
ब्रो बताइए। तोड़ना है हमारी ये बोलता है, पता है क्या? नाइट्रोजन को होता है थ्री बॉन्ड, हम लोग खाली सिंगल सिंगल बॉन्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, कैसे लिखा हम लोग एटम तो भाई इंग्लिश में नीचे आ गया। हमारा है देखो एटम। हम कर दो, हम तो सिंगल सिंगल थोड़ी नाम कर रहे हैं, हम तो तीन बॉन्ड लेंथ कर रहे हैं। वो तो बॉन्ड लेंथ है ना, वो तीन बॉन्ड का हो चाहे एक बॉन्ड का हो, बॉन्ड लेंथ इज समथिंग। जब तीन है मतलब उसके लिए भी ज्यादा अट्रैक्शन है सिंगल बॉन्ड के अपेक्षा। तो सिंगल अगर बाई डिफॉल्ट में ले रहा है वो, तो नाइट्रोजन को ब्रेक करना इज नॉट इजी, क्योंकि उसके बाद ट्रिपल बॉन्ड है। अभी हम ऑलरेडी ब्रेक करके दे दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि रिएक्टिव पॉइंट सब तो हम लोग कैलकुलेट किए हैं उसमें, उसके हिसाब से मतलब यहाँ वहाँ भागना नहीं चाहिए। रिएक्शन थोड़ा कम हो मैं मान सकता हूँ।
Ayate putra degote chora swamatika yani hota putra degote chora swamatika Hora yakata banman vedati vakata Navadvane Chaura Hare Krishnaya Kaushalya Dosto Tame Vachai Navadvane Chaura Hare Krishnaya Kaushalya Dosto Tame Vachai Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Gopala, Raghukulam, Mama, Navani Gopangan Jagupur Jaguram Navani Chao Gopangan Gol अनेक जन्मार्जित पाप चौरा चौराग्रतम पुरुषं नमामि अनेक जन्मार्जित पाप चौरम चौराग्रतम पुरुषं नमामि जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी सुदर्शन महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरि बोल। So we are going to continue in our game syllabus. So we'll begin the game syllabus for this year. So game practically started for all of you from January. All the second devotees in January. The game goes on because it's a 3 years, 3 years syllabus. The end of the fourth year, you complete game. As any complete game, you get, I think, you get 4 certificates in one go. Positive thinker, self-manager, proactive leader, and personality development. That's not a certificate, it's a topic. Smoothly, beginning with a topic in specific. Yeah, but these are Shampoo's 4 year syllabus. We covered it in 3 years. Yes, so that's the beginning of, that's the beginning of game we started in January. When we started discussing about positive thinker classes, that's the first part. Then, in addition, so what was done in Utkarsha, that's all part of positive thinker. And so now we'll go forward from there. We'll go forward from there. We did a good classes, all that. That all comes in game. So game is a sort of in that way, 3.5, around 3.5 years it takes. So after device, there is a game. So 3.5 years. The end of it, you get 4 degrees. Good, no? So we'll have qualifying examinations. So in fact, next year, even for Utkarsha entry, there will be a qualifying examination. From next year onwards, it's coming. All of you are fortunate. First years. And I had to give an exam, they pass in it, then only they'll be allowed to enter the Utkarsha. Otherwise, better luck next time. That's going to come up from next year. They have to pass a qualifying examination. The, for all of you, it was uh, so yeah. So the training team is activated. They're going to prepare an examination paper next year entry. So we'll begin with this. So game has many sections in it. As in the yearly module, also we'll embark on various terrains. So the first terrain we'll touch on today or this year. I mean, the first terrain which you want to touch on is uh, so we'll touch on karma. We'll touch on the terrain of karma to begin with in the game series this year. So we're going to discuss about many things. We're going to discuss about modes. We're going to discuss about spiritual world, about Maya Shakti, the sense of Gita, the Yoga ladder, and some sections of all these this year's syllabus. Morality and transcendental morality, the art of repentance. These are topics this year. We'll begin with karma. Um, I believe we have had one preliminary introductory class on karma for all of you, right? Karma? Sunday classes? No Sunday classes. No. One on Sunday mornings. Yeah, no, not this semester, last semester. No, last semester. Here. Karma, no karma. No karma. Okay. Okay. It's another karma. Okay. Fine. So we'll. Okay. Obviously, there is a touch of karma in the device second or third session, second session or something. But there is a complete introductory seminar, full on karma. And and now game will go further from there. So, but you're saying you are not there. So, what we will do? Anyways, we'll go further with the basic quick revision. Yeah, so this comes in. This is a part of PL, I believe. Project. Uh, don't set a project. Okay, that's the. I think it's okay. No, that's I think we have a book here called Essence of a Proactive Leader. In the meantime, okay, it's a nice book where This topic of karma highlighted. We'll discuss, we'll touch on a particular section of it. As we know, the science of karma talks about the action and reaction. As you sow, so shall you. Why is karma theory so complicated? So complex. It's difficult to fathom what comes as a result of which activity and why and things like that. Why is it so complex? How exactly the result will happen, we can't contemplate it. Okay. Uh, Now, if karma is tit for tat, now tit for tat, then it shouldn't be very complicated. But it's very complex. No, it's very complex, and it's not just. Uh, so karma theory is not very simplistic. It's very complex. That goes to show, or that goes to highlight the the purpose for which the entire karma, the science of karma works. The purpose for which the entire science of karma works. That purpose is not to just incriminate punishment on the candidates. That purpose is to help improve, resurrect the candidates. So, so if it is just okay action, and okay, if you've done this action, this is the reaction, this is the reaction, this is the reaction, things should be simplistic. But karma theory is not so simplistic. Why? Because the entire purpose is so that uh, we're able to resurrect ourselves. So you will see when things are impersonal, when there are no feelings involved, when the things are devoid of any sensitivity, then it is very easy to predict what is going to happen. Is it not? Like in a Sarkari office, it's very easy to predict things won't work out. No, no AI is required. No? Very easily we can predict things will not work out. Unless you pay 1 lakh, 5 lakh, under the table, things won't work out. No? And so if one has to, if one has to face some legal permissions and all that, then one has to take 6 months, 1 year time. One has to keep some few, couple of lakh rupees, extra, then things can work out. Earlier one wants more the money, like that. So, so where there are no feelings involved, it is very easy. Suppose we want to buy something, will we be able to purchase it or not? It's very simple. If you have money, we can. If you don't have, you can ask. So things are simple there. You know, bank balance will answer many things. So bank balance can answer many things in that case. So things are simple. Things become complex where love is involved. That's why karma theory is so complex, because Krishna's love is involved. So that is why, on one hand, there is this action and reaction. But what the Lord is saying is that when one starts performing bhakti, then the karma is burnt up. Karmani nidahati kintu jo bhakti bhaja. The performance of bhakti, the very karma is burnt up. So that means that one is being given the punishment to stop the person from committing further sin, to make the person realize that person is sinning. But as soon as the person starts rectifying a little bit also, immediately everything is washed off by the Supreme Lord. This means that there is a loving Krishna behind. Loving Krishna behind. So therefore, we see sometimes, many times at home, what happens is that the child is belligerent, the mother is very angry. Our mother is very angry, then she's telling the child, you nonsense, you rascal, you're not hearing me. I'll kill you. She's saying like that. You heard somebody, sometimes some lady speaking like that? Sometimes they speak and they're very angry, you know? You know? They're saying, I'm going to kill you, you know? Ah. So, is she going to kill? She going to kill? No, she's just threatening. Isn't that? You know? So sometimes the mothers she keeps giving warning so much so that the child takes it casually. You know? Then she's saying, I'm warning you, I am, you'll get a big meeting. And this fellow is singing, no, it's okay, no, it's okay. No? Because she keeps giving a lot of warning and doesn't do anything. The child takes, then one moment is not too intense. Now she gives him a slap, tight slap on the face. This fellow is wondering, hey, change of action. I got a slap. So why so much of warning was being given? She actually doesn't want to beat. That's the point. And that's why so much of warning was coming. But she actually doesn't want to beat. Yeah? And then you will see this mother is given a tight slap on the child. And then you will see after some time what will happen. The child is crying. And this fellow will go, now he's crying, where will he go to? And he'll go to mother only. No? So he goes to her and she is putting him on the lap and he's crying, because he's got a slap. And she's also crying because she slapped. You seen that? I've seen that. So now we'll say, okay, how do you predict this behavior? This behavior is very difficult to predict. Now, this kind of a behavior is difficult to predict. It's a fact. Why? Because there's love which is involved. Is she going to slap or not? So actually she doesn't want to slap. But if the child doesn't hear at all, then she may have to. But then if she has slapped, why is the child crying? Child is crying because he's beaten. Then why is he going to the mother? you know? Then why is the mother crying? So this is the science of love actually. So we can see when we talk about karma, behind karma, we can see this loving heart of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, this karma, that is why you will see these karma algorithms. The karma algorithms are not fixed and riveted. That is why anytime you go to astrology, they will never tell you one option. The astrology will say either this can happen or that can happen or the third thing will happen. But we tell now we ask, but sir, you exactly tell what exactly will happen. He says, no, that we cannot tell. But because the karma theory is never hard bound. It's very loose. Like Srila Prabhupada was born and the astrologer studied Prabhupada's Janampatri and he said, okay, either this man, this boy, he grows up, either he'll become the richest industrialist of the nation or he'll open 108 temples. Sorry, किधर industrialist, किधर 108 temples, कोई match है? Different, domain only, na? How it can happen, So the karma is like that. But the Krishna doesn't fix things and keep things loose, so that till the last point the Lord is wanting to give chance to the living entity. So therefore, the idea to understand about karma is Krishna wants to give chance till the last point to the living entity. It सुधर आएगी नहीं थोड़ा सा भी little bit सुधर आए okay clean off the records zoom on the good part like that. This is how the Lord is नहीं सुधर रहा है last stage also नहीं सुधर रहा है and the Lord says to Maya, okay, what can be done? And Maya says, okay, I'll bring him back in some time. So she, and Maya takes over a little bit, VIP treatment, third degree. And then also Krishna is ready to see that, okay, he's setting all right or not. So this is how we can see the karma theory is exactly like that. So at this point of time, if you remember, in device 2, the devotee Mara spoken to you a story, she always say about this. So this child, the small child, in the drawing room, and he's seen on the shelf, up on the shelf, the third or fourth shelf, now up on a high. He's seeing a nice packet of small rasgullas, and they're very, what do you call it? It's fragrant, no? Fragrant, yeah, fragrant, no? She's showing very nice, interestingly different fragrance, but a nice rasgulla. So many of them. Father is on office, mother is in the kitchen, and brother has gone to school. All I can take. Solve for me. So, but what it is, it's not a rasgulla, it was naphthalene. It's not rasgulla, it's naphthalene. You remember the story? Who remembers? Oh, that's okay. Only people remember when they start giving the session. Sometimes when we take the device training and they say, Babuji, I'm hearing this first time. so, so, so now but now he's very quiet and very strategic. How he'll go without making any noise so that mother doesn't get any indication. But mother also has sixth sense. Now mother is wondering, Arey, no nuisance, no breaking, no bang here, there, something is wrong. So she comes out, she's seeing this fellow is up to something. She's asking, hey, what are you up to? She says, no, nothing, I'm up to nothing. Very cool. I'm up to nothing. She's saying, don't do any mischief. Ah, yes, yes, you make such a face, very agyakari, Shawan Kumar, like that. And mother goes back. Now he's saying, okay, I need to speed up, She's trying to speed up, and mother also knows, she comes out very quick, She's saying, hey, where are you heading to? She says, no, no, nothing, Then she's saying that, don't look in that direction, that is Shichi, I don't know. He says that is Shichi, it will create a lot of problem, that is not for you, But evening you'll go out, you can have any sweets you want, not that, don't look in that direction. The child says, okay, as you say, I'm Shawan Kumar. So now he's running towards an athlete. Again, after a few seconds, mother comes out, and then she's seeing, this fellow, his hand is broken off the packet, and he's about to get, he's pouncing on a good number of them, and just about to put it in his mouth, So the mother was warning you, not listening, Hmm? The mother was shouting at him, he was not listening. The mother said, okay, I'll complain to your father, then also not listening. Saying, hey, father is in my pocket, one tear will glide down, father will be melted, what father? Few hot tears here, that's finished, Like that. So he's not listening, And now he's just about to take. What is the mother going to do? So the mother drops off all her kitchen, whatever was there in the hand, utensils, spoon or whatever, And she comes, the mother is dashing towards the child, She forcibly catches hold of the child, makes him drop off all the naphthalene, And then gives him a tight slap on the face, pushing him off, and then give him a tight slap on the face. And this fellow falls on the ground making saucers, the knicker coming out, shirt being torn, like that, and he falls head on with a big thud on the ground, hard, like that, And the child is wondering, see, my mother is so cruel, No, she doesn't let me eat rasgulla also. The neighboring auntie is so nice, Whenever I go to her, she gives me a toffee, My mother is not giving me rasgullas. Although they are small rasgullas, still I was accepting it, She's not giving it, She's not allowing it, Like that. So this is an important aspect to understand in karma theory. Now, just imagine at this point of time, this child's friend comes, and he happens to come at the climax moments, the action stunt, not that time, and and suppose, he's taking a photograph, and he's shooting all that, mother is what is happening and all that, So you can shoot that clipping, you can post it, it can become viral also. It can give a conclusion that okay, mothers are so cruel, hence true, like that. It can be published in Nature IEEE also, like that. But the question is, what is the reality? So many times when people say, why is suffering? If God exists, why is there suffering? Many times people, their pointer only gets hooked to one point. Why do bad things happen to good people? Why do? bad things happen to good people. The question always. So why suffering has been a question which has been confounding and bewildering philosophers, religionists from centuries. And a proper understanding of this is very much required. Otherwise, people assume anything for anything. Why do bad things happen to good people? So, so therefore, we have to understand the Supreme Lord in the heart of the Supreme Lord. That is the essence of the karma theory. So, like now, if you see in the story, the mother is beating the child out of out of affection. She's not deriving any sadistic pleasure from beating the child. So rather, for a mother, it takes more love to beat a child than to embrace a child. श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी सुदर्शन महाराज शील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरि बोल। It takes more love to beat a child for a mother than to embrace a child. You can ask any mother. Uh, the same is the story of Krishna. Same is Krishna's heart. Krishna's heart, if you want to understand, you can take a mother's heart, multiply it by 1 trillion, and then that is Krishna's heart. So that's what is Krishna's heart. How much he feels for every living. Just like if you see the life of now you see the life of Chitraketu Maharaj. So Chitraketu Maharaj by his karma, he was not supposed to get a son. So he married many wives, thinking that maybe from some wife I'll get a son, probably. Married many wives. Not a single one of them gave him a son. That is how precise karma is. You're not supposed to get it. No matter whatever you do, you are not going to get it. Even if you get it in your hands, it will fizzle off. That's what happened to Chitraketu Maharaj. He got a son, it fizzled off. Is it not? It fizzled off because he was not supposed to get it. That was the karma. So now Chitraketu Maharaj is not ready to accept. He's banging his head against the rock. He said, putra, 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 putra. He's crying, I want child. So Angira Muni has come and Angira Muni is telling, hey, I can teach you Bhagavad Gita. He's saying, no, child. Angira Muni is telling, I can teach you Hare Krishna. He's saying, no, I'm already chanting the mantra. Putra, 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 putra. That is the mantra he was chanting. Putra means where? Putra means son. So, so he's chanting the Putra Putra mantra. He's not chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Angira is saying this fellow is not hearing what to do. So he said, okay, what you will take to start hearing? He said, my fees, Putra, I need a child. Angira Muni understood he's not supposed to get a child by his karma. But he was not ready to listen. So Angira Muni said, okay, I will make some alterations. If you want change of situation, I can change the situations. But it won't change much. There will be some change. He said, no, at least change a little bit. Hiramani said, okay, I can arrange a child for you. But mind it, the child will bring happiness also and sorrow also. Bring jubilation also and agony also. Therefore, to remember this, you name the child Harsha Shoka. He'll bring you happiness also, he'll bring you sorrow also, bring you both. And he said, no problem, what is there in the name, This is not. I'll whatever he said, name the child. I'll name him Harsha Shoka. No? This is not. No problem. And now Chitraketu Maharaj saying, okay, no, why is he going to bring me sorrow? Maybe he'll not listen to me. Maybe he'll be misbehaved. Maybe, he'll be misbehaved fellow, mischievous fellow. Chitraketu Maharaj said, okay, bad son is better than no son. That was his calculation. But Giramuni, so what Angiramuni did? I was not supposed to get a son. And that pain of not having a son was supposed to be his karma. So, so the Lord arranged in Chitraketu Maharaj's life an opportunity to get bhakti by arranging him the association of Angiramani. If he would have taken to bhakti, probably his karma would have got wiped out, but he didn't took. Rather, he was adamant, I want putra, putra, putra. Now, Angiramani being compassionate said, okay, from a karma material perspective, let's try to solve the problem. So he said, I'll solve the situation, I'll change the situation, but that pain will come some other way. No? And that's what happens when people go to astrology. They say if a problem is supposed to come in particular way, by the astrology or by the power of some gems or by some rituals or something like that, it won't come in this way, but it will come. If it's not coming in this way, you deflected it, but it will come back in some other way. No? Like that. Like suppose a person was about to lose his job and he gets to know from astrology. Now he wants to avoid that. So then the person will have the job. Have the job. Uh, uh, but what may happen is that his house may burn on fire. So one particular thing is deflected. The pain for that thing. No? So suppose he was not destined to have a job for next 2 years. Now he did some astrology, he did some mudras, he did some mantras, he did some rituals and all that. Avoid that. Now his job for 2 years will not be taken off. But whatever he earns now in the next 2 years will be lost. So suppose he makes a home, inaugurates the home, and he has gone out for a vacation, exactly at that time, house will be burnt on fire. No, this is just an example. That much suffering quota of that much money, of not having that much money, was supposed to come on him. Now he has deflected it from a material algorithm. It will come back in another way. This is what Angiramuni basically did. He got him a son, and the son got poisoned and killed. Right? All of you know the story. The son got killed. So again, he was back to square one. Back to square one. You can just have a feel-good feeling that he had a son. Is it not? No? So you're supposed to get 0, but the person is not wanting, so he's taken up, but then he's taking that much down. So net effect is 0. This is karma. Now, like that. But even if this is the point, now the Lord arranged double opportunity for him to get Krishna consciousness once again. Is it not? Because at this point of time, there is not only Angiramani, but also Narad Again a double. Is it not? Double punch. So you see, the Chitraketu Maharaj's life, the karma is coming. But the Lord is giving opportunity to get rid of karma by giving him opportunity to take to bhakti. It happened once, he rejected it. It happened again, but with a double force. At least a double force. Angiramani, Narmani, both of them came. This time he heard it. Is it not? As soon as he heard it, things became very glorious. Is it not? He became a great devotee. Right? He became a great devotee. So, this is where we can see how Krishna's love gets enacted out along with karma. That Krishna gives opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to the living entity to set it right. So one may have mountains and mountains of sins accumulated. A little bit of intense bhakti one does, all of that will be washed up. Krishna's guarantee. So in one sense, those sins are only formidable as long as one is on the material plane. When one comes on the spiritual plane, and Krishna is telling Maharshika, don't worry about them, I will demolish them. You just focus on bhakti. This is how powerful Bhakti is. And this is how merciful Krishna is. Therefore, Lord Krishna's tireless algorithm is to bring every living entity to Bhakti. Lord Krishna's tireless algorithm to bring, and the Lord Krishna, along with his devotees, is tirelessly working for towards this objective. So this is something which is interesting to understand. That one of the key aspects is the karma is not an expression of God's insensitivity or cruelty, but karma is an expression of God's love. And that is why the Lord gives signals after signals after signals. And still a person does not take heed, then what can be done? That is why in language, in tradition, in communication, they uh, they come up with this proverb. They say, no, लातों के भूत हाथों से नहीं मानते, है ना? So that means बात सही मनाना है, लेकिन कोई नहीं मान रहा तो क्या? And therefore, sometimes people ask that if God is all loving, why the hell that God has sent us to this material world? Why can't send us here? What is the answer? Why can't God stop it? So, but why can't He stop us? We have independence. Like we have independence and our self-reliance. Yes. So Prabhupada says that Prabhupada says God didn't want it. God didn't want it. We were insisting. So God reluctantly, with disappointment said, "All right, you rascal, go." You know, at your own risk, you go. But still, I am there beside. This is my helpline number. You can call anytime. Okay. This is the Krishna love. So when people don't understand this, then they land up into very weird kind of situations. Okay, so here, so why suffering or why do bad things happen to good people? Now there is a nice discussion about one Western philosopher and his philosophy on karma. I'm just looking into it. Hold on. Oh, this is the wrong chapter. I'm looking. Sorry. Karma, huh? 155. Sorry. Oh, I was looking at notes actually. Sorry. So here there is this. Let's see. Uh, yeah. So I think this is there page 160 something. Yeah, 168. And in your homework, you can read through this also. It's a very nice section. We'll cover it in a couple of classes, but so now this is basically from one of Ravindra Swarupu articles. Ravindra Swarupu was proper disciple. Who Prabhupada told to become a peer, to go and do his PhD, and he was one of the initial devotees, initial four devotees. Prabhupada just chose to be a part of to start the scientific research. Ravindra Swarupu, the very powerful writer, Srila Prabhupada disciple, very scholarly. So when people don't have this proper understanding, then you see, then the whole picture and the scenario of life is very bizarre, is very topsy-turvy, is very flimsy, very flimsy, means very fragile. So that is one of the things which is required in bhakti is that we should not be a fair weather devotee of the Lord. What does it mean to be a fair weather devotee? Fair weather devotee of the Lord. Yes, we are devotees as long as everything is very favorable. As long as we are getting, uh, as long as Krishna is giving us good results, no? Like, like everybody said, like many people, like we feel very happy when we want something, Krishna gives it. Suppose somebody wanted, say, JEE admission, and Krishna gave it. So, so one feels very nice. Oh, Krishna is so nice. Krishna reciprocated. Then if one wants to apply the same algorithm and then says, okay, Krishna, give me job also. No? And suppose Krishna doesn't give it. So stop chanting Hare Krishna. So, fair weather devotee means as long as Krishna does what we tell him to do, as long as he supplies our orders, as long as everything is very favorable, then we will devotee. So this goes to show, I mean, this logic means what? That okay, we accept mother as long as she is patting on the back. The moment she scold, we reject her. Is it not? So this is a very shallow and narrow understanding. Why? Because in this understanding, one is thinking that one is thinking that okay, the mother is doing good only when she acts as I want her to. The moment she acts otherwise, then she is not doing good. So this is a very narrow-minded understanding. The fault, it's a fault in understanding. Why? Because the mother always acts in favor of the child, whether she is encouraging, she is loving, or she is scolding, or she is slapping. Everything is for the benefit of the child. My professor here was taking to Krishna consciousness. He was practicing Krishna consciousness. He was chanting. He was attending programs, and he was very serious and he was very regular. And then what happened? His wife died. So his wife died. He gave up chanting. So why did Krishna take away my wife? So people who don't chant, their wives don't die. Do their wives don't die? They want to say a wife, they will also die. Is it not? So everybody has to die. Is it not? So now this is the fair weather condition of practice. That okay, if everything is very nice, if everything is very favorable, then only I practice. If not, then I don't practice. Like that. So he gave up practices. That means he didn't have a proper understanding of Krishna. He didn't have a proper understanding of philosophy. His motivation to practice Krishna consciousness is not proper at all. Why? Because we should not just be a fair weather devotee. No. Like when we have to uh, so Krishna consciousness has to be accepted holistically, and for that we need a holistic understanding. So therefore, a very proper understanding of karma is absolutely essential. Otherwise, our worldview is completely different. The motivation, the reason, our even if one is doing bhakti, then even if one is doing bhakti, the gear, the directionality is completely topsy-turvy unless we have a very clear-cut understanding, in-depth understanding of karma. So, uh, this is the idea. If you remember in the Yatra, Jayapataka Maharaj will ask such a question, and Maharaj answered it. Yeah? And if you remember, Jayapataka Maharaj question answers Sannyasi Bhuti was asked this question. And what did Maharaj answer? And what was the question? Who remembers? Let us see. Yeah? The right answer will attract Krishna Mahaprasad. Oh, you went for 1 2 days? Maybe in that 1 2 days only. I don't know which day it was asked. One of the days it was asked. So this devotee is saying, Maharaj, I'm an initiated devotee of the Lord. I'm your disciple, Maharaj. This is my name. And I'm Grihastha and I'm practicing Krishna consciousness. And I lost my job. And I'm not getting any job. And I've been trying. And so many months I have been trying, Maharaj. And I have got completely frustrated. And I have got completely tired. And I am losing faith. And my practices are also going down. What should I do? That's the question. It's something in this line only. Where was the devotee? Ah, immediately Jayapataka Maharaj said, if you had not been a devotee, situation would have been worse for you. No. When we face, we are in a problematic situation, and just imagine if we are not devotees, we'll be even more miserable to handle it. Is it not? We'll be even more miserable to handle it. Yeah? When one is a devotee, one is a little better off to handle the things. Maharaj said, because you're a devotee, had you not been a devotee, things would have been more tougher for you. Sometimes people commit suicide, such a thing. You know? People commit suicide for no reason only. This is a very big reason. For people to commit suicide many times, a very small reason is good enough also. Huh? Somebody gave bad exam, commit suicide. Huh? Hmm? After the result is declared. Another person commits suicide before the result only. You know? Yeah. You know? Result के रुक जाओ. ऐसा नहीं नहीं. उधर भी जल्दी है. You know? Restlessness everywhere. Isn't that? Huh? And I have seen there some candidate they commit suicide before giving the exam only. Because exam तो देखो. हो सकता है गलती से पास हो जाए. No, all of these are KGP true stories, you know. All of them are KGP true stories. This semester only 6 suicides, you know. This semester. Huh? So you see, very unfortunate. Huh? Very unfortunate. People for a very flimsy reason. Very, very flimsy reason. So we have to understand. That is why we have to read Bhagavad Gita. Because that is why we have to read Bhagavatam. People say, no, I don't want it. अरे आपको दुनिया के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं है. And then when problem comes, then you say, ये क्या हो रहा है ना? Ignorance is no excuse, no? Is it not? अभी से एयरपोर्ट में होता है ना, they in your baggage some things are allowed, some things are not allowed. अभी गलती से what is not allowed is there in the bag, what they are going to do? They'll open the bag anyways. Then what they'll do? They'll take it out and throw it off. You should not. नहीं 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 मेरा. अरे इतना प्यारा था तो पहले रोज पढ़ के आते ना उसको. Is it not? So they'll throw it off. Is it not? They'll say, okay, off you go. Sometimes they don't allow liquids. No? Sometimes they don't allow, no? Like we had gone to US first time, then we had gone to Dubai. No? So Devahuti's brother, he had given a lot of fruits. So carrying those fruits, we carrying those fruits, ना इतना 12-14 घंटे में इतने fruit थोड़ी खाएगा. So a lot of it was heavy. So we reached, you know, and they said, okay, you're carrying something. I said, yeah, no, any food eatables? Nothing much more than some fruits. I said, oh, fruits coming. He started doing checking of everything and all that. They said the fruits are not allowed, you know, to throw it off, you know. you are feeling oh, such then uh, uh, then the Uti asked, can you eat it? He said, yeah, if you want, you can eat it. But you have to give me back the seeds, so that I'll throw up, it won't go inside the country. So then she was eating whatever she could, apples or something, grapes. So we don't know the rules. That's not an excuse, because we're supposed to know the rules, like that. So we are much better off when suffering comes and we are a devotee. The Bhagavatam declares this material world is a place of suffering. Some people say, why this material world is a place of suffering? क्यों बनाया? Suffering क्यों बनाया? बनाया नहीं है. By definition, material world में suffering होना चाहिए. क्यों? है उस क्यों का answer is very simple, straightforward. Why material world there is suffering? There is a great reason behind it. It's not that Krishna has knowingly put suffering. मेरे से रिबल किया है ना, अभी मैं तो चखाता हूँ, देख लूंगा, है ना? Not that way, है ना? So Krishna is not like that. Why this material world is suffering? Because happiness only exists wherever there is Krishna. Happiness and Krishna, these two are synonyms. You understand synonyms? If somebody says, I want happiness, means what they are saying, I want Krishna. Therefore, George Harrison says, everybody wants Krishna. Everybody looking for Krishna. Krishna book opening lines, you see George Harrison's forward, George Harrison, everybody wants Krishna. Everybody looking for Krishna. Why? Because happiness and Krishna are synonyms. Now somebody says, I don't want Krishna. That means, as simple as that. Is it not? So, without Krishna, happiness cannot exist. That is why in this material world there is no happiness. But Krishna is so loving, he is still so close to every living entity. Why? So that a moment of realization, and if they want, they can connect to Krishna within a moment. That means happiness is one step away from us in this material world. That's all. What is that step? To log on to Krishna. Happiness is just one step away from us. That's all. All we have to do is to log on to Krishna. All we have to do is to log on to Krishna. So we are very much better off, when suffering comes. Because we can handle it. We can handle it properly. So therefore, you see this professor, his wife died, he left Krishna consciousness. Sridhar Swami, his wife died, he became sannyasi. And what kind of sannyasi? He gave the first commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. He's our Acharya. One who actually explained and revealed the message and the imports of Srimad Bhagavatam to the world. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would relish and read his commentaries. Can you imagine what a position he achieved? He's also same situation, wife died. Professor also same situation, wife died. Professor gave up his chanting. The Sridhar Swami became such an Acharya. Mahaprabhu is reading his writings. Mahaprabhu is reading his commentaries. Like that. So this is the difference actually. When we see suffering in a proper perspective, it can create auspiciousness for us. And that's what happened to Chitraketu Maharaj also. First time, Chitraketu Maharaj, materialist. A son nahi tha, he could not tolerate. He was devastated. He was not able to do his duty. He was not able to do the kingdom, ruling, तो भगवान की दया थी किसी ने अटैक नहीं किया नहीं तो सब निकल जाता है ना He was not doing only anything, you know, like that. He was just putra putra, you know, crying. That's all. You see, later when he becomes a devotee, he gets a curse for no reason. Is it not? Chitraketu Maharaj. He got a curse, right? What was the curse? You become born as a demon. That means lose all your progress, all your empire, everything, and all that, and immediately become a demon. So that was the curse. Now, as compared to losing a child, is this curse big or small? Very big, no? I was just a child, you know. It's so many wives, I mean, child, you know. Anyways, he was the king. For a king, all the kingdom is his children only, you know. Only you're not seeing them like that, you know. He had a cataract in his vision, actually. For a king, all the praja is the kingdom only, no? The children only. So Krishna had not given him a seminal child, and Krishna had given him so many children, you know. No. So why was he crying? Because he didn't had a proper vision. That's good. Now he got spiritual vision. Now such a big thing is coming to him. All of a sudden, his power, his body, his beautiful body was a Vidyadhara body. He was cursed to become a demon, not even a human body. Such an ugly body. And mind it, Bhagavatam explains how he was looking. He was so ugly looking. Superb ugly. The description is there in Bhagavatam. What an ugly person. What a terrifically ugly personality. He was looking. Horrifying personality. That was his, it was like a mountain. No. His hair was cherry red. No, cherry red polish. That red. Very ugly. Yeah, cherry red polish, you know. Super ugly. But what is the difference? He has a spiritual vision. Because he had a spiritual vision, he was not only able to tolerate it, he was able to serve the Supreme Lord, and in that very body, he went back to Godhead. It was not. Without wasting time. You know, because he was not born as a small child and then he grew up, you know. He was born grown up, you know, like a mountain, you know. So he didn't waste time in growing, you know, Baba Black Sheep, Humpty Dumpty head, you know, sat on the wall, had a fall and all that. He didn't do anything like that, you know. Immediately he came, you know, as soon as he was born, you know, he was like a mountain. He said, okay, attack. And he immediately attacked Indra. No wasting time, you know. He attacked Indra, everything started happening, war, 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 he went back to Godhead, you know. It's hardly few weeks, you know, and he's back to Godhead. You know? Why? Because he could see it in proper light. So therefore, we need to see things in proper light actually. And therefore, Sharnagati, one of the pillars of Sharnagati is yeah, yeah. So it's implied there that see having knowing that whatever Krishna does will be for my good. He is my ultimate maintainer. You see, sometimes the parent, what they do is that they take the child in the lap, the parents throw the child down. Phew, like that. No? हवा में फेंक दिया उसको, है ना? Like that. So, and you will see this fellow is not crying also. This fellow is laughing. गिरेगा ना वहां से तो कितने हड्डी टूटेंगे पता है? But this fellow is bindas crying, है ना? Laughing. He's enjoying, you know? ऐसे जो फेंक दिया उसको, ना? Like that. This fellow is bindas laughing now. Why? Parent will catch. Know that. Is it not? You know that. Sometimes some candidates are angry fellows of the Lord. Very angry fellows. So in their home also they're very angry fellows. No? जब देखो डांट लगाते रहते हैं. बच्चों को भी ऐसे डांटते हैं, and if you're a new person, you're standing, you'll be, shivering. You know? You know? और बच्चा देखेंगे आप पूरा बिंदास है. चुप रहा है, हो गया. You know? After that, the child will just walk out, go to another room and start playing. You know? You know? You know? इससे वो ठीक है. They don't take it seriously. So I'm telling you a true story. What devotees have, devotee Prabhu, very nice devotee, dedicated, but super angry, na? He has three daughters. Who is chastising them like anything. I was shivering, they were with us. They were not disrespecting him. They were quiet and grave only, but full bindas, like that. So, and then they just heard everything. Okay. Oh yeah, Prabhu was 10 minutes left, right, up, down, Then he was going on, angry, shouting, like that, chastising. He would just head down and, you know, and I was like, oh, no, this is me, like that. So after that, uh, no, 3 minutes after that, no, I think I went to the kitchen. I think kitchen, washroom, something like that. And in between was the children's room, the inside room, like that. And I peeped in. I mean, the door was open. There's nothing to peep. Everything was visible. Nothing to peep. Everything was visible as such. I just happened to look in, like that. And the three of them were laughing, joking, and and playing around and all. Just 3-4 minutes had passed. That means what? They know they don't take it seriously. Why? Because his father. No? They know that okay, whatever you do is okay. Yeah. Yeah, I may not like it, but maybe it's for my good. Just take it. Yeah. So this is what we have learned actually. So then Jayapataka Maharaj, what Jayapataka Maharaj answered? First, Maharaj explained you are better off as a devotee. And this problem is coming to you. If you are a non-devotee, it would have been more miserable. Now you are better off as a devotee. अभी तो आपका माला ही छूट रहा है, फिर क्या होता है, जीवन भी छूट जाता, सुसाइड. बेटर ऑफ एज अ डिवोटी. लेकिन इसलिए डिवोटी बने रहने के लिए माला बनाए रखना जरूरी है ना. So Maharaj said, okay, continue with your spiritual duties, come what may. Then Maharaj said, Maharaj was very humble and very honest and very earnest, and Maharaj said, I Maharaj said, I cannot walk, I have so many problems, my kidneys are failed, you know, you know, and this is my situation. But whenever I speak of Krishna, you know, I feel so happy. So Maharaj, yeah. Just log on to Maharaj's channel to see how much diseases, the list of diseases Maharaj had. Maharaj had brain hemorrhage 2007, 2008. And since then, so many times cancer treatment has happened to Maharaj. Maharaj kidneys have failed. No, there have been no, every now and then some or the other deadly diseases there. No, recently there was cellulitis in Maharaj, very painful. Like that. And but Maharaj rock solid. 12 o'clock Maharaj sleeps. 3:30 Maharaj, 3 o'clock Maharaj gets up. Every single day. So Krishna conscious. So this is the point that the suffering, we are better off. Suffering has to be there because this is a place of suffering. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. So dukha is going to be there. Now the question is not why dukha is coming on. The question is how we can overcome, how we can steer through it. And for that, we need to connect to Krishna. By Krishna's power, by Krishna's mercy, we can go. Right? So why suffering? Because this is a place of suffering. So why suffering? To give us a signal that we are going on the wrong direction. Why signal? Because otherwise we will harm ourselves more. Is it not? Harm ourselves more. So that's why the signal. That's why the stopping. So karma theory stop the punishment, stops the living entity from committing further sin. Why? Because he goes on committing sin, it will be very, very deadly. Is it not? So suffering should be taken as an indicator or a wake-up call to behave oneself, to resurrect oneself, to the principles of to resurrect oneself, to stand up to the principles of dharma. This is the point. So I think we'll stop here for today. And in yeah, so in our next class we will discuss about some of the Western philosophies about karma, and then you can see how shallow knowledge leads to what a weird kind of understanding. Some of the tenets of that, and how they are very shallow, and how we can see things in proper perspective. Uh, all that in the next class. Ready, go. Okay, so I think we can stop here for today. So we'll continue again on the next class. Next week, I think we'll have a class on Thursday, probably. And but in general, we'll have our classes on Tuesdays. So in general, we'll have a class on Tuesday. No? Generally, Tuesday will start 7 o'clock sharp. No? Then we'll discuss about the game a bit. Then I'll give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go and take dinner prasad. After that, we'll have Bhagavatam reading. You know? So I think we can do the same thing. So we can cover both the same day. So it's like a nice, and we'll be done by 9:30 or so. So that way. So we can get something from Bhagavatam and we can get something from game. Right. So, but next week, because of the first week of teaching, most likely we'll do it on Thursday. But then onwards, Tuesdays. You'll understand why I'm saying Thursday when we discuss the preaching plans. But that's for next week. But otherwise, Tuesdays. Henceforth, Tuesdays. Hari Bol, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.